From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather tonight.
Heavy rain and embedded thunder from the evening will be wrapping up here soon. And then we still stay cloudy during the overnight, but cooler air will be moving in. Many of us down to the mid-30s by daybreak here for morning lows, mostly cloudy skies. Although some parts of southern middle Tennessee could be down to the lower 30s and near the freezing mark. We'll talk about that here as we go forward. So rain shifting east of the area next couple of hours. Colder air moving in by daybreak, low to mid-30s across southern middle Tennessee. I think mainly mid to upper 30s to lower 40s across northwest Alabama. Now, don't be alarmed by the lower 30s and the temperatures you have here near or just below freezing, because the ground has been warm lately. The roadway temperatures have been warm. This is not like last month where it was below average most of the month. The ground temperatures were cold last month. It's not like that. It's a completely different situation. So when you add the warm pavement temperatures and the warm ground temperatures to the fact that it's only going to hit these temperatures for maybe an hour at most, you're just not going to have enough time for refreezing of any leftover water puddles onto the roadways. So we're not worried about black ice. We're not worried about refreezing in these few areas you may get just below freezing, because it will be too short-lived. So don't be alarmed by that. Want to make that very clear. Clouds gradually clear out as we head through the day. It's going to be chilly, though, with a northerly wind bringing in a colder air mass temporarily. Highs only in the 40s. And then tomorrow night, we're dipping down into the 20s for overnight lows. We flip it around quickly, though. Southerly wind Friday gets us to the 50s. We're near 70 or into the lower 70s Saturday in the warm sector of this storm system as the warm front comes north Friday night in the early Saturday morning. A few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. That lifts north of us during the morning hours. Maybe a little bit of sunshine late Saturday morning and the Saturday afternoon to warm our temperatures. They stabilize the atmosphere, and then late afternoon into the overnight as the actual muscle of the storm system comes in, we'll have the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll detail that here in just a moment. That's out of the way Sunday. Showers end during the morning hours, and then back to colder temperatures early next week. Counting the rain from this evening, adding that to the rain we have coming Saturday night, another 2 to 3 inches across southern middle Tennessee, another 2 to 4 across northwest Alabama, in addition to what we've already had so far this week. So the flooding potential will continue, and it may transition to flash flooding type potential instead of the slower type stuff as we head into Saturday afternoon and Saturday night with that round of thunderstorms. We'll have to watch for those to be severe. Potentially, I think it's a pretty decent bet that there will be severe storms in the area based on the large scale pattern, but it's the small scale details that will ultimately determine the magnitude of the severe threat, especially the tornado threat. And we're still working out those details. We'll get more confident in that over the next day or so. But a baseline minimum is a lot of strong to severe thunderstorms after sunset, Saturday evening to the overnight, with damaging straight line winds, flash flooding, and the potential for spin-up tornadoes. However, as early as the mid to late afternoon, out ahead of that main line, there may be individual supercell thunderstorms that develop over the area. If those are able to develop, it's not a guarantee, but it is a distinct possibility. If we get supercell thunderstorms ahead of the line that are off by themselves, those would have an elevated type of tornado threat. It's still a question mark on whether we get those, but if we do, they would carry an elevated type of tornado threat, maybe even something that's a strong tornado. I don't want to go down that road too far just yet because there are still details we're working out. However, it gives you the idea that we are really going to have to pay attention to the weather Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Make sure you have your safety plan in place. Don't be scared of this. We have threats like this multiple times every single year. Pay attention to the weather as we work out the forecast the next few days. Have multiple reliable ways of hearing warnings, including something that will wake you up during the overnight, because a large part of this Saturday evening will be after dark. And then have your shelter plan in place ahead of time. Don't wait until you have a warning and the storm is 10 minutes away before you begin thinking about where you're going to shelter. Do that now. Do that tomorrow. Do that Friday. Figure that plan out ahead of time. And then if we do have these storms act up Saturday night, We'll be here to track it. You enact your plan if you get a warning, and we'll get through it just fine. Just don't be scared, but be ready, because there may be severe weather Saturday evening, Saturday night, maybe as early as the late afternoon. Near 70 or into the lower 70s Saturday, and then behind that cooler air, even some wintry type temperatures as we head into the first half of next week. So rain coming to an end, the next few hours staying cloudy, getting down to the 30s for the overnight, 40s for daytime highs tomorrow, despite a shift here to sunshine by the afternoon, down into the 20s tomorrow night. But then we get a southerly wind Friday with a little bit of sunshine, back to the 50s, knocking on the door of 70, if not into the lower 70s on our Saturday. A few showers early morning with a warm front that lifts north of us during the morning with a little sunshine late morning in the afternoon. And then 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon on into the overnight, we'll be watching for strong to severe thunderstorms, damaging straight line winds, flash flooding, and some degree of a tornado threat, all on the table. Rain ends on Sunday morning, clearing a cooler for the first part of next week. And then we have this next forecast headache to deal with for the middle of next week. This has been consistent across multiple models for multiple days now, and now it's made it to the 7-day window. So we do have to talk about it. It's nothing to get overly excited about just yet. There's still a lot more questions than answers, but there is the potential for rain to mix with some wintry weather toward Wednesday and Thursday of next week. It's way far out there. Things could still adjust one way or the other. So we are not even in the same ballpark as being close to ready to talk about who might see accumulation, how much, any of that mess. We'll figure that out in the days ahead, but just a tap on the shoulder that winter's not done yet, and there may be some more active weather, possibly of the wintry type versus the spring type as we head into next week. There's your latest 7-day forecast. Ben Luna is in the Weather Center tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. with your Wake Up Weather forecast.